Core Memory Unlocked.
It is Core Memory Unlocked horror time for you. Welcome to Elm Street. I am the mayor of this illustrious town, Zach, and alongside with me is my associate to the mayor, Jim.
Check out Pooh and 2, Electric Poogaloo.
It won't be a core memory, but good almighty, I'm going to have to react to these movies. I was going, well, so here's the thing, but there's so many movies, and in 2026, like, I know once a horror movie hits a stream or something, I'm going to have Brooke do, so, like, I don't have a lot of her doing that while I'm also thinking of different reactions.
Yeah.
So I think because I reacted to the creep tapes, I might end up once a month doing a solo Poohaverse movie. Once a month, just put it out there and hopefully it just catches fire. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then we can get HHN houses. Then we can get, food.
And we need her for the watch along with Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah, we'll see if that's happening. Happy April Fool's Day, everyone. All right. No more joshing around because we're about to get into the most not divisive film in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Probably the most concise, if I was to say. We are here to talk about A Nightmare on Elm Street 5. The Dream Child, excuse me. Boy. Jim.
Yo.
What are your memories of this one?
I watched it. It was definitely one of the later ones I watched. I'm not even sure I watched it before Freddy's Dead because I feel like I was probably told I don't need to. I don't know. It's either right before Freddy's Dead or after.
Okay. I hear that. For me, on the other hand, this is one of the earliest ones. But you have to come at it from the angle of what I was given. I had HBO. Usually they did, blocks of movies. Like they would, if something was out, they would probably hanker around a couple of them. And during this time, 4 and 5, maybe even 6 because 6 was coming out, they would, or at least in frame of each other. But 4 and 5, I could not get away from. I think 4 and 5 were always ones that I saw where I kind of confused story blocks from younger years and integrated them into each. Because, as I said in the last episode of 4, I had the same stigma for it because it has characters from the last movie, the mistreatment of some characters of the last movie. And I always looked at it and was like, 4 isn't for me. But it was. It's this movie. It's part 5 that I can't fucking stomach to watch now. Like, I say it on the reactions. If you want to see the reaction of part 5, link in the description down below. I say to Brooke, this is the last time I watch this one. Ever. I'm done. But
I don't
weirdly
remember them
enough,
being on TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't remember. Even HBO, because we had HBO, and I don't remember them ever really being on TV. It wasn't like Friday the 13th where you'd see them constantly on USA at night. Mm-hmm. I just didn't really come across them. I got the views by renting them at the local Newark Video in Newark, Delaware.
Right.
Mom and pop store type back then. We didn't have a Blockbuster close by. I remember when Blockbuster opened.
Mm-hmm.
you ever see Clerks when he Randall goes to the good video store? That was my experience of going to the Blockbuster for the first time, but that's a whole other story.
That's fantastic. So when I was a kid, we had Blockbuster. We even had Hollywood Video across from the street, competing with each other. But even before that, the Farm Fresh by my neighborhood had an entire rental section, which was awesome. That's actually where I saw Army of Darkness for the first time. Saw the cover. I was like, I need to fucking see this. But that being said, I do remember it being on HBO about that time, especially when I'm looking at when this came out, 1989. Freddy's Dead's 91. So in 1990, that's about the time I would have been doing my watches. And if a movie came out, whatever time frame, a year from them would be on a
VHS.
I almost called it a fucking streaming service, the pay service. No, I think by that time VHS was still about 6 to 8 months.
No,
really?
Well, no, I think it was still a year back then. I don't think we hit the 6 to 8 months until much later.
I wouldn't say much later because I don't know, man. We're going to have to we're going to have this conversation later because of I had so many VHSs once we get to the mid 90s, like Mission Impossible, Lost World and all that. Those motherfuckers were coming out about 6 months from them. But we'll look at that though. Then 1991 with Freddy's Dead coming out, this would have been on a premium pay service at that time, and I feel 4 and 5 would have gotten that hey, put it out there so we can promote that the new one's coming. But that being said, story of this movie is our heroine from part 4, who took over for Patricia Arquette. So we have this new character, and this Alice, yeah. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, sorry. Stand by. It took me to the wrong thing. So sorry. So sorry, people. We're back. We're back in a big bag. Alice, played by Lisa Wilcox, she returns, and her boyfriend, Dan, at the beginning of this movie, are just absolutely banging in the credits. It's a wonderful blue lit scene. And I can't tell if we're trying to sell like she's pregnant, man, at that giving of the seed. But Alice becomes pregnant, and during this, she goes back to the place where she killed Freddy. Freddy gets brought back to life because Alice had a nightmare where she saw Amanda Kruger giving birth. That demon brought back Freddy, and now Freddy wants to come back in Alice's new baby. We meet a set of fuck all characters that, I mean, honestly, it's the most fucking disturbing thing I've ever seen, where it's like we had all her friends in the last movie, and we're just supposed to believe these characters are her friends. I don't believe it. I don't like any of the side characters. Dan was tolerable in this one. Last movie, his acting's atrocious, but fucking this movie, they kill him from the get. In the best kill of the movie, the motorcycle kill, unbelievably looks great. Love it. And eventually, we get to meet a child that they're selling like we're not going to know who it is, but it's Alice's kid. Freddy's trying to get him to join him. We get a weird end fight. There's a comic book character that Super Freddy comes out and kills. There's a pool. There's some shit. I fucking hate this movie. Like, if it sounds boring, me describing it, it's exactly what the movie is. Like, Freddy has a weird look, like he's not brought back all the way. He has one hand longer than the other that you could see that he's doing this claw thing to make his hand do this. I don't like this movie, Jim.
Yeah, they're just trying to do something different, I think, every single time, which sure, okay, at least you're not repeating the process completely.
Mm-hmm.
And but it doesn't work.
Right.
Like you said, the characters aren't interesting, and which is always a problem. Which
Right.
is like you got to either like or dislike. It's fine. Either one is fine, but you can't just be indifferent.
Right.
And that's kind of how this one is. You just don't have any sort of feelings whatsoever about most of these people. And the motorcycle thing is good, and you know the effects still are decent, generally speaking, as far as kills go, but they're
Right.
not as exciting.
This one's the worn out welcome. Like,
Yeah.
part 3, as we said, was the beginning of the, like, how cool this can get. Part 4 is the middle of, look, we're still fucking cool. This one feels like, here you go. This is the moment where the Fast and the Furious franchise goes to the fucking moon. Like, they had a good, like, they rebranded the brand of Fast with 5, and then they kept trying to chase that the entire time. This is the moment where nothing about it's entertaining. The quips aren't fucking great. He's just saying bitch every other word. Look, I don't think Robert Englund phones it in. I don't think he phones it in once in this entire franchise.
No.
But if he does not have good material to fight through, then what's the fucking point? And what's really kind of upsetting, Stephen Hopkins is the director of this movie. He had a movie come out the year prior, and when I saw that before rewatching it this last time, I was like, oh shit, shit's going to get real. He directed Predator 2. Say what you want to about fucking Predator 2. That was a good follow-up. So in my mind, I'm like, this guy knows how to work inside a franchise. I'm not saying he's the wrong of this. It just, I think there's something cheaply behind the scenes, maybe like part 2, where they didn't give them enough time to get ready, which would make sense. If part 3 is 87, part 4 is 88, and this is 89, this was a nightmare every fucking year for 3 years in a row. You were bound to catch the heat.
Yeah. And you're trying to come up ways to bring him back after killing him every single movie, while also trying to come up with ways of killing him while not actually killing him, because you're going to bring him back again.
Right.
Which is, I mean, that's horror films in general, especially slasher movies. But at least other ones, they don't feel ridiculous. I mean, other than, well, we did talk about a couple that were ridiculous in Friday the 13th. But
right.
this, like the idea of the kid and having this baby, and he's going to be reborn into the baby, and it's a weird concept. It's a weird, and I guess he's able, to get into the dreams of the baby, if I remember right, in order to get into her. And it's fine, like, if you have a better script, I guess.
Right.
I think it was probably, like you said, I think it was probably rushed.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Like, it has to be at this point where it's like they were working on part 4 and we're getting this script done, because it's, from what I see, it's nobody from the last film working on this. Like, part 4, you could tell they put the work in for that finale with, like, they used a big body with all the souls trying to get them. Like, almost part 4 could have been the perfect ending for this franchise. And like you just said, we have to come up with this convoluted way to bring them back. We have to think of a convoluted way to kill him, which the way they kill him in this is at the beginning, when he is that demon seed, fucking, the demon seed is thrown out of his body, and fucking Amanda Kruger, who's been hanging out, grabs said thing, puts it back in her womb. Then his fucking hands coming out and doors are slamming in front of him. Like, what does all this mean? And you could tell the franchise doesn't know what the fuck is going on, because that shit doesn't even matter in the next one, like you said.
Yeah.
It's not
I think it's a case
like he's
of
just back. He's
this
just
is a
there.
case of this is an outlandish franchise that just kind of goes over the top and does what it wants because it lives in a dream world. So you're able to do whatever you want. So they thought we can just do whatever we want, and
Right.
people will just accept it.
Right. And
It's
but
not.
that's the fall of all these franchises going forward. Like they took advantage of the viewers just thinking, "Oh, we're going to go to see it because we love the character
Yeah.
and that we'll watch anything." And yes, there are redeemable and fun moments on schlockiness, but once you reach a certain point and you're seeing through the screen how bad they're doing, now we good. Then you get no love for 20 fucking years and someone's just hate watching you, which I did as a fucking rewatch.
Yeah. Well, it ultimately, like you'll get people to come off of just the character. But what you end up doing is you end up hurting it down the line. You're not going to get as many
Right.
people to come back.
Right.
You're not going to get the rewatches off of that, but you're also not going to get, if you make another sequel, you're not going to get as many coming back.
Right. And it's
Because
sad
they're done.
because
They're just like, I can't do this anymore.
right. And it's sad because like I like Alice. I think Alice, because of the last movie, in this one, she has all her friends' powers. So, like, she's able to use those. That's a very interesting concept to bring back in a world where we're living in reboot quills. You know what I mean? Like Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. I'm trying to think of other movies that are Scream. Like, all these franchises are coming back and using their originals. Yeah, you could use Nancy. That's easy. But I think it would be pretty interesting if fucking Alice has been gone. Everybody's been gone from fucking Elm Street and Alice came back. Fuck, Nancy's there too. And like, that's the reason why Freddy can come back. It's an interesting way to use these good final girls and redeem these fucking final movies this chick was in. Like Nancy got a good send off. She got a good send off in 3, and she gets an even fucking better one in 7. So
Heather
like,
Langenkamp got lucky. She had all the the best of the movies.
bro, you're right. Like she was never in a bad one. Never in a bad one. Never in a bad one. But let's do some fun facts, if you want to call. Let's do some facts. Here we go. Oh, insanely fast production. Director Stephen Hopkins was given the job on Valentine's Day 1989 with a release date in August of the same year. He had only 4 weeks to shoot and 4 weeks to edit the entire film. We solved the fucking problem, New Line Cinema, you fucking schmucks. How do you not just give it 1990? How do you not just wait 1 fucking year and let the movie fucking breathe? This fucking film, this fucking franchise, its own fault is New Line Cinema. You know what killed Freddy? New Line Cinema. You know what house burned down? New Line Cinema.
So, I mean, the thing is, you're correct. But I will say this. This is 1989 when horror was still not taken seriously. This was not
True.
a genre that anybody had any respect for, no matter how much money you made. It didn't matter. And the thought process was you can just put out anything.
Yes.
And you'll make some money off of it.
Right.
And it does. Nobody's going to look at it as art. No one's going to think it's good. So it doesn't matter what you put out. And so that's why they can sit there and go, oh, we're just going to rush this out 4 weeks. It's fine. Throw it out in the theater. We'll make a quick buck off of it because we're going to, keep riding the trend of, getting these movies out as quickly as possible before people forget about it.
Right.
And no one cares if the reviewers like it because no reviewers didn't like horror movies back then because all reviewers were art house guys. They weren't people that were they weren't sending genre fans into review. genre movies back then.
But here's okay. I completely agree. 100%. Everything that you're saying. Like, this franchise was going to get shat on no matter what, outside of the original. But, like, I looked at it. Box Office Mojo says Part 4 made $49 million. This one made 22. That is a steep fucking fall. The budget of this one is $8 million. So if you put the production budget of $8 million, and I would say at this time, Height of Freddy, the pop culture zeitgeist and promotion budget was probably between 4 to 8 million. So we'll meet at 15 million, and you only made $22 million. You probably broke even, and this is why you did take that break between years to give us the final Freddy. But where my issue lies is Robert Shea, producer of this film, Big Head and New Line, is why I think this fucking fails. Because he had the original, and it was such a fucking blockbuster, meaning creative-wise and monetarily. And then he just wanted to rush into, okay, I do that. I can see some of the feedback is bad, so let's bring back Wes and try to recoup some of that good word of mouth. Oh, we did it. It made money. Like, this is great. We picked up from that failure. Let's do Part 4 and release it within a year, but I think we can still garnish some of that 3. Oh, we barely survived? Thank Christ. Let's just rush out fucking 5 in 4 months. It's like he didn't learn his lesson. He learned that if he fucks up, it's going to mess with the next movie. Most definitely. But that didn't bother him. And that's where my problem is. Robert Shea, this is why Lynn Shea's the best Shea I've ever shayed in my life.
Pooh.
Let's move on to the next fact.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
I think you did it just right. All right, here we go. The Super Freddy cameo, the muscular version of Freddy known as Super Freddy, was played by Michael Bailey Smith instead of Robert Englund. A lightning bolt was added to the costume's chest only after it accidentally caught fire during filming.
I wish it was played by Kevin Nash.
Oh, shit. Yes, 100%. Like, I do love that 90, about that era, brought us the super version of every character we love. Every character had a super version. Okay, this is our final, well, maybe not our final. The next one's good, too. Vincent Price connection. The laughter heard right before the credits is actually a sample of horror legend Vincent Price from Michael Jackson's Thriller. Wow. Did they get paid for it? Did Thriller get paid? Did Vince see any of that money? Censored kills. Several death scenes were heavily cut by the MPAA to avoid an X rating. The unedited versions, including Greta being fed her own organs and the comic book kid's head being chopped off, were only officially available for VHS, Laserdisc, and now the 4K version. I was about to say, I don't think I've ever seen these.
Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar at all.
Not at all. Never seen those. So the 4K, and this is a weird thing. I have the 4K digitally. So it makes me wonder if I didn't get that, if it's the old 4K. You know what I mean?
Or it might not be like included in the movie. It might be a special features thing.
It could be a disc-only feature. You're absolutely right. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Not enough. Nope, not enough for me to fucking watch this movie again. I'll tell you that much. Not at all. It's a movie. If you're doing the series, you have to watch it. There's no way around it. You got to do it. I will never individually go back to watch this movie. I will never on a bad day be like, you know what, I need to watch this. Never. Feed me fucking Greta food all day before I watch this shit. So anyways, what say you? Are you a fan of this movie? Did I just make your day? Did I just piss you off? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe, comment, and like this video. We're on YouTube. You better fucking follow this goddamn channel. We're also on pod apps, you motherfuckers. So go ahead and subscribe there. I bet you won't. You won't. You know why? Because you're a little piece of shit. That's why. Well, I'm nice every other time. I'm trying to gauge the water, see what they like. You know what I mean? Do we have a bunch of cuck listeners? Off the rails, baby. Off the rails. We will catch you